So each cohort chooses its own representative to speak on their behalf at this event. This cohort chose a teacher who not only earned her MED in urban education now, but also her bachelor's degree in elementary education here at Rockford University just a few short years ago. Please welcome Whitney Reed to offer remarks for the fourth cohort.
Thank you. I'd like to start by acknowledging the amount of love and support in the room tonight. After getting to know each person in this cohort for the last 2 years, what an amazing way to spend the night surrounded by the people who mean the most to us. There's a buzz in the room and it's hard to miss. On behalf of Cohort 4, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to the partnership that Rockford Public Schools and Rockford University have forged. Thank you for seeing a need and taking and acting on it so that our students of this great city have teachers who now more deeply understand the 3 pillars of the program: leadership, equity, learning. Thank you to the professors we've had the privilege to learn along with. To Mr. Andy Newgren for starting us on the path of research and providing a strong foundation in which the rest of the program leaned on. To Mr. Devon LaRosa for encouraging us to look at the funds of knowledge within our community and harvesting relationships to strengthen the members within it. To Mr. Brent Fritz for teaching us the fascinating world of data analytics, but more importantly, not to believe the BS out there, to thoughtfully and critically look at information. Your dedication to this program is inspiring. To Ms. Taryn Turner for highlighting both the obstacles teacher leaders must overcome, but also the skills, strategies, disposition that exceptional teacher leaders have. To Dr. Jacob Hardesty for teaching us the way that law and policy have shaped and continue to impact practice in American public schools. To Dr. Kelly Munson, I've come to think of you as the hug of this program. You started us off by breaking down barriers and having us look truly deeply at ourselves. What has shaped us, what has gotten us to this point we are currently. In fact, your autobiography assignment is the most important assignment I've ever done. We then return to you at the end to tie it all together and into this culminating event. Thank you for the constant reassurance that we would in fact make it if we just stayed on the path. To Annie Badu, you embody the pillars of this program. Your leadership is unwavering, you are strong yet vulnerable, you empower and inspire. You know exactly what you believe in and you have given us the tools to do the same. Your understanding of the science of learning has opened my eyes to a pedagogy I did not possess before starting this program. Annie, I can confidently say that having met you, that our cohort, we have not only changed for the better, but also for good. Thank you to all of you for the love you have poured into each of us over the last 2 years. To our families and loved ones, without you, we would not be here. Thank you for supporting us, for hearing us, and letting us commandeer a room in the house every Tuesday for 2 years. On a personal level, I would like to thank every single person in this room who showed up for me tonight and continue to show up for me to help me reach my dreams. I love you all so much. I am so thankful for you, and you are the charming gardeners of my soul. Finally, to you, Cohort 4. I think back on almost exactly 2 years ago when we met for the first time in a room downtown. It somehow feels like so much longer than 2 years, but also yesterday. As we signed papers and heard the overview of the program, I became overwhelmed about the journey that was ahead of us. Little did we know what was ahead of us. We've been through a lot, wouldn't you say? 2 months into this program, everyone in the world, their world was turned upside down. A worldwide pandemic changed everything, but for us as a cohort especially, it changed the landscape of this program, how it looked and how it felt. After having only known each other briefly, we went home to do it on Zoom. And while we chose to start a program to look deeply at our implicit bias, our entire nation was forced to. Learning about social injustice while civil unrest was happening at times felt overwhelming. But in hindsight, looking back, we were exactly where we needed to be, learning with people who think similarly and differently than us. And on top of that all, and that's a lot, our resilience was further tested by the everyday hardships life throws our way. It's been humbling to see all we have endured. We have lost those closest to us, those gone far too soon, illness, losing pets, family members enduring hardships, moving from our homes, and the challenges of being public educators. But through it all, boy, were there moments of beauty. There were bright spots, if you will. Marriages, baby Luca, friendships deepened, first homes, growth, and hope. So thank you, each of you. As a member of our cohort recently said, pressure makes diamonds. I would like to share just a brief story about my journey as an educator and how I became a part of this cohort. When I graduated from Rockford University just short few years ago, my plan was to sub around the district, getting my feet wet until the following school year started. However, fate had a different plan and a second grade position opened at Welsh Elementary, my alma mater. So I applied, and while sparing the details, I will be honest when I tell you that things were not good. I couldn't believe that in my school, my neighborhood, my city, the reality of what was happening. These students ride their bikes down the same street I did. They save up their money to buy candy at Pinnins just like I did. It certainly did not look, sound, or feel like the school I held so deeply to my heart. So, what did we do? We didn't wait for policy or systems beyond our control to change, we changed. We cultivated the genius within our community. See, we had a recipe that with some fine-tuning could become something beautiful. We had administrators with a vision, we had teachers with heart, we had incredible students and families who wanted the best. And there were really hard days, and sometimes there still are. In fact, today was a really hard day. But small tremors of change began to happen, and that is addicting work. Recently, I spoke with my assistant principal, who's in the audience, and after dismissal, I looked around and I said, things seem different. Students were laughing, and teachers were chatting with former students, and administrators were helping kids cross the street and giving them high fives, and our parents were picking up our kids with a smile on their face. And I said to him, I don't know, I just feel like the kids feel so different. And he said something that made me stop and really think, and what he said was, the kids haven't changed. The climate of the school has. We have created an environment where our kids can just be kids. And the kids are why we do this, right? So I did some quick math, and just in my short years as a teacher, I have had the responsibility and power to affect 150 children. And there are 20 of us in our cohort. And my number is low compared to the many years you have put in. In fact, collectively, we have had 215 years of service between us, with over 20,000 relationships created. And so as I tell my second graders, with great power comes great responsibility. And so to our community, be hopeful, because we have 20 bright spots who take this responsibility very seriously, from our youngest learners to our graduating seniors. To Carol at Circles of Learning, and Nicole at Bloom, and Chris and me at Welsh, and Emily at Parker, and Jessica at Whitehead, and Valeria and Jose and Becca at Barber, and Katie and Katie and Sarah at Riverdale, and Brianne at Haskell, and Mario at Ellis, and Lisa at Eisenhower, and Aaron at Flynn, and Mike at East, and Tia and Steve at Guilford, and Jessica at Auburn. You are amazing teachers. So to all of us, to everyone here today, When things aren't good and if things feel dark as they often have lately, if you look around and you can't find a bright spot, I urge you to be the bright spot because they deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Whitney, for representing Cohort 4 so well. So proud of you.